Welcome to Gloria's Gab Live. I am so excited today to share with you two amazing people in our community. They're doing great work. Father Espino and Gisella Castro. Both are with Salle Educational Learning Center. Is that it? Did I get it right? Yeah. Okay. I appreciate y'all coming in. Before we get started, I want to thank our sponsors, Braham Medical Institute, a Quigley Eye Specialist company. They're at 2550 Douglas Road in Coral Gables, and they're amazing. They do everything from cataract surgery to saggy eyes to optometry, ophthalmology, one-stop shop. And of course, the other is everybody's favorite, South Florida PBS. And if you're not a member, you need to be. Programming is great and a lot of benefits for members too. So tune in there. So let me get started. We've already had a chance to talk a little bit, but Father Espino has founded an amazing place, and I know there's a history behind it because I know Gisella, you told me about LaSalle alumni. Is that how kind of?
It started with the alumni. I was assigned, I'm a priest with the Archdiocese of Miami.
Yeah.
And my third assignment, actually, I was 1 year in Corpus Christi, which is near downtown Miami, a couple of years in Kendall at Good Shepherd, and then I started, I was sent to do migrant ministry in Naranja. And part of that was at that time, there were 3 migrant worker centers.
Right.
And I started working on those. And one of them which is now a South Date Center, we opened up a chapel, and I invited the alumni of the LaSalle schools in Cuba to help me. English classes and typing, more than just a religious class. And that grew slowly. And it's actually a work of the LaSallian alumni. LaSalle is one of the earlier reformers of education in France in I think it was 16th, 17th century. And he started working with poor, teaching.
That was St. John
Baptiste LaSalle.
Right.
And he founded the order, which is now the Christian Brothers LaSallian. And he's the patron of educators in the church, and a lot of the Catholic schools follow his teaching method, and a lot of actually teaching method. And this is an educational center. And with the help of a group of alumni of LaSalle in Cuba, we started providing educational services, sports activities in the beginning.
So they provided funding and
they did
in-kind donations.
Things. It was basically them in the beginning. That was close to 30 years ago, actually. And it actually became something more formal after Andrew, when I wasn't there. Andrew sort of closed down a couple of things. I actually left the area a couple of months before Andrew.
Good move.
Yeah, it wasn't. God's good to me. In July, but I came back to help, and then I went back to Homestead to rebuild Sacred Heart a year and a half later. But that's not it. But the thing is, the Educational Center has been providing services to the farm worker community for over 30 years.
So the family and the children, right?
Family and the children. We try to work with the parents, with the grandparents, and with the children.
Right.
Right now,
and you have like a building?
We actually have, we rent from Homestead Housing Authority 7 units.
Is that right?
Yeah. Is it 7? Yeah, I think it's 7. Because we have.
Ask our board member over there.
No, yeah. No,
we have the board.
She knows. It's just we have one part, which is we have 2 large classrooms for the children. We have an administrative office where we also have the adult education. We have a computer camp area for adults, which hasn't been functioning right now because of COVID, obviously. We also use that. Well, this year we haven't, but usually spring breaks and summer, when we have the children full time camp.
I was going to say when that's probably when they need you the most
Yes,
too.
and we've had volunteers from Lasallian high schools and colleges that have come down for their spring breaks,
And they
and
do like
they do that in summer camps.
their
We
community service.
they do community
How
service.
nice. And how did you get involved, Gisela?
I was lured into this.
You,
My
did you
husband,
did you twist her arm?
I didn't do it.
my husband did. He was one of the from the alumni, the LaSalle alumni group, and I saw throughout the years how what a job they've been doing over there, and unless you go there and see it in action, it's difficult to conceive what what they've done, and that's how I got involved. And it's such a beautiful organization when you see how lucky we are and what we have, and then you see it takes so little really to help these children. They don't see it from their parents are usually working, and the little
Yeah.
that we can provide for them after school programs and the summer programs. It's just a beautiful, beautiful work that they do over there. And again, it takes so little to help them.
Well, I don't know if you know this, Father, but Gisela and I are in a business club together, Profit Inc. And we were talking, just, having a conversation. All of a sudden, she knows I'm involved in nonprofit work. And I said, "Oh, are you doing anything?" She said, "Well, yeah." And she's the one that told me about it. And I said, "I had no idea. And I'm sure the community doesn't." So I am so happy that you came on the show because I know you need donations.
Obviously,
Yeah,
yeah.
obviously. And as she was telling me, her LaSalle alumni are getting older. We need more people to help out.
Oh yeah, Hugo Gisella's husband is the president of the LaSalle Foundation,
Oh,
which
okay.
we've
Now
been
that I didn't know.
yes, which is
So this is a
it was
family that's invested in
yeah,
this, right?
which is a funding
Arm.
source for
Mhm.
arm for the alumni association, and we've been
Okay.
helping. Well, actually, we helped out LaSalle High School here a while, some educational. That's in the foundation, not us. They supported us, obviously. They were
Right.
the main funding source for us, or the method to do that. But we've helped out the schools in Haiti and Santo Domingo,
Right.
in Mexico, in Puerto Rico, in Santo Domingo, because that's where the brothers who taught the
Oh, okay.
Lasallians
So
ended up.
there were ties.
There were
I know those.
ties.
Yeah.
We were actually originally our tie was mainly with the LaSalle brothers in Mexico, uh,
Oh,
because
really?
those were the ones who taught in Cuba.
Oh,
Last
okay.
year we sort of didn't switch, but officially came under the umbrella of DINA, which is the Northeast America, the the Lasallian brothers in Canada and the East Coast.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
but they just supervise us. We don't. We're part of them. They help us, and actually, they've been wonderful helping funding us. The brothers, uh, a lot of the elderly brothers, what they did when they got the COVID, uh, the extra money, they sent
Yeah.
that to us.
Sweet.
Sweet, they did because
That's great.
it's they're very sweet, and we're thankful for them. you know,
Oh my gosh, that's great.
yeah, but we would like, and we've been doing. I mean, we've been doing this for 30 years. It's a small. It's always a small operation, but one of the key things is it's a community where the parents usually do not speak English.
Well, that may kind of make
They're
sense.
working
They're new
full time.
arrivals.
They're new
Yeah.
arrivals, or they're farm workers.
Right.
The one of the big problems we face, especially with the young men, is the value of an education is not that high, because once they start working, either gardening or nursery, they get some money come in, they drop out of school.
Oh, is that what happens?
Yes.
Oh,
So
that's
it's we've been constantly trying to
so you have to instill in them the importance of
the
education
education
to
and the
get out of
formation.
where you are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we've done wonderful things in the 30 years.
Yeah.
We
How many typically do you have on an average day?
an average day right now, because we have like at least 50 kids in the program, because we have two classrooms and we're trying to still,
Yeah.
the COVID. I think for the summer camp we have a little bit more, because we're still, trying to do
Well,
this
and
with.
you can keep them outside. You
Yeah,
can
we
do
can
a
do
lot
them
of stuff outside,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And they don't have to wear masks
Well,
outside.
outside, right? We keep on track of that. I don't know what this week is going on.
Yeah, they keep
Everything
changing.
changes.
And how are you dealing with the families? Are you encouraging them with the vaccines?
Well,
Or
actually,
is that,
we had 3 vaccination events.
oh, you did.
We did there.
Were they pretty good about? Yeah,
No,
I know. Well,
no,
the thing is, sometimes the less educated, maybe they
no. I
don't
mean,
get
we
it. I don't
tried,
know. Yeah.
but we had three events for vaccinations at the parish. I had, we vaccinated with 1,200 people
You did.
at our
Oh,
at the
that's
parish, at my parish.
at St.
This
Lazarus.
was St.
Yeah.
Lazarus. Here, probably we had 50 or 60, which is not bad when
Yeah.
we did it. This was the last push, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now we
but-
got another push.
Well, yeah, I'm thinking
Another
about doing
step.
something else again.
Yeah,
you know.
right.
But it's an interesting.
But you're double vaccinated, right?
Oh yes.
Well, we're just talking about that for here because we were just talking about that this morning. We said, listen, if we have people come in that aren't vaccinated, should we? Because we had screens here.
Yeah.
We were really,
Yeah.
really careful. And so we had the partitions, and if there were 2 people, you would have a partition there, and there
Right.
would be one here with the glass and the, whatever. And now we don't know what to do.
Well,
So,
I'm fully vaccinated.
yeah, me too.
w-
So,
you know,
well, I figure most people are.
Yeah.
but you
Yeah.
still have to be careful.
I usually
But-
try to ask ahead of time,
Yeah.
just in case. So then we put up the
Yeah,
partitions.
and we've been pushing that. We're pushing education. We've promoting. One of the things we have is a reading specialist that comes in to
Oh, that's so
to make sure
important.
the kids are up to level. We're also we try our director of the center on the board of the director. We have Monica, who's the director of the center. She's contact with we have 5 elementary schools of that
5 elementary
five
schools?
elementary schools that our kids go to.
Oh, okay. And then after school they come there.
Yeah, but so we try to.
And how do they get transportation to and
No,
from?
because they live in the camp.
Oh, they
the-
live in the camp.
We're working in one of the. It's no longer a labor camp. They used to call them labor camp. It's a farm. I
got a
know.
bad
Yeah,
connotation.
I know, but it was, migrant labor camp.
Housing.
Housing.
It was
Migrant housing.
That's better
But
than a labor camp.
What we used to call them labor camps. These were one of the best ones. These are, and we have people there that are, third generation
Wow.
living
really?
there, and some new ones. Some new people are now in the agricultural industry.
Right.
But we try to provide that link to make sure that the education of the children is on track.
So they keep up with their peers.
Yeah, one of the things we did, with COVID, I insisted we open during COVID, because one of the things that happened was that there's no very bad internet in that area.
Oh, so they really couldn't.
They couldn't. So we used our center as a distant learning center, so the kids could come and connect
smart.
there.
Yeah.
And I insisted. And luckily, we were also hooked up with hardwired.
I think you told me about that.
With
Yeah.
a consortium that is providing internet for the area. We were one of 2 areas. The camp in South Dade, and I think an area in Liberty City, that was sort of a dead zone for internet.
Yeah.
That this consortium is providing.
And did I hear? Did you get a donation of laptops as
Well,
well?
it wasn't for us. It was for all the children.
Well,
in
that's
the
what I
camp.
meant.
Well, yeah, we didn't. We actually did get some.
You got some for your teachers
No,
as well?
we had before that. We had some tablets that were donated to us, and actually, Pro Insurance, which is an insurance company, helped us with a large donation. Then they donated some tablets for the kids,
That's
so they
awesome.
could have it, because
Yeah.
that's it's equipment and the internet.
Well, and for them to
Use it
able- yeah.
to use it at home. So,
exactly,
but
even
luck-
if the internet's not that good.
yes, and but we helped the kids through the last year. Once that was
So
our.
you were a godsend for those
Oh
people,
yes.
because I know the people that were in public school were just
Yes, we went through that.
teachers too. Well, teachers too. It wasn't
Yeah.
just the students; it was the teachers.
Oh, I know.
kind of felt bad for both of
I
them.
have two sisters who are teachers, so
Yeah, sister.
two.
Oh, you do.
I
Oh,
do.
yeah. So you
My
heard
two
about
younger
it.
sisters are teachers in the public school. My older sister was a college professor at St. Thomas
Oh,
University.
really?
So
Oh, St. Thomas is great.
yeah. So, but the thing is, we focus on.
Yeah.
We focused this year on the education, making sure the kids were up to terms. you
Yeah.
know.
Oh, what a great, resource
Yeah.
for those
And
people in
like I
that
said,
community.
Yeah,
Wow.
beginning of the year, we're full time, which we're limited to 30 kids at that time because of the spacing. But we at least those 30 kids were able to.
Now, if you've got a certain amount of housing, if you've got additional, do you need, what can the community do for you? Is kind of what I'm getting at.
Okay, well, right now it's just money donations, obviously
Yeah.
the key thing, because
Do you have additional kids that you can't serve that you would like to serve?
well, right now
Or are you?
our capacity
capacity
is
is-
limited right
Yeah.
now
Mhm.
because of there's
Well,
still
because of COVID?
COVID protocols are still there,
Right.
and we try to well, this year we're not doing the pots because last year was like every group had to stay with
Oh, the
Pods.
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 Oh, gosh.
yeah, they couldn't get out of their pods. It's like
Oh, my gosh.
like whales and dolphins.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
They could be here, but they had to go out at the same time just to
Yeah, right. They had to go in groups.
in groups.
Yeah, right.
So you could have more. And
Oh,
but
my goodness.
summer camp is this year we're concentrating on art.
Well, that's good.
Teaching.
What else what do you offer in summer camp besides art?
Well, this year our summer camp has been always
Computers, I would
sports.
think. Yeah.
Computers, sports, but the program has been built around the arts, so they can get a.
And do you need more volunteers?
There's always volunteers are always needed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you need for what kind of things? Because
Well,
let's let people know.
obviously,
They probably have to go through some kind of background check. I
we
would
do
think.
the background
Yeah,
check.
right.
We have a background check through the Archdiocese, which is fingerprinting and some training.
Right.
I'm sure you're aware, Virtuous Pro. If you're working anywhere in the church, we do extensive background check and training
Right.
kids.
Yeah.
But I mean, computers, art, reading skills, even
Yeah.
mentoring programs. If anybody, and we're still trying to figure out.
And
how
do you
to-
get reading specialists to come in? Because I would. My sister was dyslexic, so
Right.
it took not until second grade did they really
we
realize
have
what it was.
one of our employees is a reading specialist who
Oh,
comes
that's
in
perfect.
twice a week.
So she can identify
She can
those that
identify
have special
the special needs and make sure they get up
learning
challenges
challenges.
and all that.
Yeah.
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 So yeah, it's amazing how years ago people that had learning disabilities were considered dumb.
Slow.
Yeah.
Slow, but they
I-
weren't
I-
slow at all.
No, I
they
have
just
dyslexia. I mean, I still I have dyslexia.
do you do
So
too?
I do too. I do.
Oh, my sister do. Oh
so
my
it's
gosh.
like, especially with numbers. So if
You
I
know
say a
what? I
number,
have-
don't tell me. If I tell you a number, it's probably the other way.
Do you know what? I have a friend who was a CEO of a major CFO of a major corporation. And he said because he had it, he didn't make mistakes because he double checked everything he did because he was so afraid of
Afraid of
mixing
that.
the numbers
Oh
up.
yeah.
So I thought, oh, well, that worked to his advantage
Oh yes.
because somebody else might have just blown it off. Yeah, I got it. And
Well,
not double check.
But it happens. It's
Yeah.
like I
Right.
hate writing
happens.
because I never know if I write it correctly or not. And even autocorrect is that what I wanted to say? So
Yeah, right. So yeah. Oh, and then you can't count on autocorrect. And heaven forbid texting.
yes.
Texting. I know my poor sister. I
But
go, Paula, I'll text you, and she goes, and then I think, what am I thinking? You know, she's got to figure out how to. I mean, and she
No.
reads really well. I mean,
Oh,
and
no,
she
no,
reads.
I read a
She reads
lot.
tons of books.
Yeah,
But it just takes her longer.
yeah.
Yeah,
No, no,
right.
no. But
So,
That's
oh, well, I'm
that's
good.
another
I'm glad
problem.
you have a reading spec. You've got
We
a
do have a
specialist.
reading specialist, and
Yeah.
we find whatever we need at the time. And like I said, one of the things, obviously, right now with volunteers is we're very careful.
Yeah.
You know, with the COVID still on, and with the kids, a lot of the kids are younger; they're not vaccinated, so
That's a whole nother
that's a
thing.
whole different
And so we
thing.
don't
And
know.
it's not just the kids; it's if they get infected, they go home to their parents and grandparents.
Yeah.
That's
the bad thing.
the bad thing. It's the kids probably won't have
Yeah.
a problem. It's
Well,
and that's a whole thing.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know when they're going
No,
to start the under 12 kids.
they're not sure.
They're not sure. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
we'll see when school starts. What we usually follow.
Well, I'm
the directive
happy
from
that you
school.
were able to stay open during.
I made sure we stayed open.
Yeah. No.
I
That's
made sure
awesome.
we stayed open. I said, nope, and we're gonna go full time. It was like, what? No,
Touch and go there.
we'll find the money somewhere.
Yeah.
No, well, there is money out there.
Yes.
You just have to. Well,
Yeah.
and that's why I wanted to have you on, because I wanted people to understand what you're doing, and what a service you're providing. And I, there is. I'm a member of the Coral Gables Women's Club, but the General Federation of Women's Clubs, they have 11 clubs in Dade County, and then you've got the Rotary clubs.
Oh yes.
And have you gotten any Rotarians to come and volunteer and help? And you've got the
Not
Knights
this,
of Columbus too, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's just actually I haven't. I used to. I shouldn't say I used to be. I was in the Rotary when I was in Homestead.
You were?
Yes,
Oh.
Sacred Heart. I was
Well,
pastor down there, and I was with the Rotary Club in Homestead.
well, I'm in the Coral Gables Rotary
Yeah.
Club. If you're looking for a club,
Yeah, but
I'll
we
recruit
reach out.
you.
We reach out to everybody that's willing to help. It's just finding out what our needs. And the needs change right now with the COVID, but we need to go back up to fully what we wanted to do, which is also some vocational training for adults. And we haven't.
If you had a wish list of things that you either in-kind services or funding for specific initiatives, do you have anything that? I mean, you're on the board too. Has the board talked about anything like 5-year plan, 10-year plan?
Yeah, we're working on that. Well,
Oh,
one
you
of the
are?
things we are. I mean, we've had. I mean, the thing is, I got on board 4 years ago. This is my second term, yeah. So like 3 years ago, I was on board, and 3 months ago they elected me president again. But it was in a crisis.
Gisella wouldn't know about that.
No. But it was that time when everybody was getting older. Things were,
Right.
So we had to renew it. And one of the things we're missing, one of the components actually, is the whole thing with the teenagers and young adults, which we need to focus. We worked on that. We've tried to get the educational kids to college and all that. And
I was going to say, so you help them out with either looking for scholarships
scholarships.
or providing them through the
We've-
foundation?
we've been trying to do that. It's very difficult to do that with the. Like I told you, one of the problems is that once they start working, their education's not the priority, and even though we've had
So the trick is getting the parents to understand how important
yeah,
education is.
education is.
Yeah.
Yes, that's always a problem. You're talking about a community that's been working in the agriculture areas for a long time. So right now it's more nurseries and gardening than anything
Right.
else.
Yeah.
So once they start working and they're making, whatever they're making in gardening, nursery
And,
works.
if you have your own company,
Yeah, I mean, which is great if you can do
say,
that.
hey,
But
listen,
but
you
every-
could be running a group of people
Right,
instead of,
right,
being
right.
one of those people.
Yeah. But, we're working on that and some other vocational options for the kids.
So do you have like financial workshops, that kind of stuff?
We've
How to
done that.
balance a checkbook,
We
that kind of
have
stuff.
had that.
Yeah.
We've had, luckily, through Berry College, we've had
Oh, yeah.
nursing people come in and, uh, I mean, well, obviously, the last 2 years of the COVID, it's everybody's like,
It's nuts.
it's nuts, and programming is nuts because of that.
Yeah.
But but in the area of healthcare, we try to provide that financial balance of a checkbook, some basic computer skills. We've had that,
Yeah.
but it comes and goes. It depends the
Yeah.
needs
Yeah.
and the ability we have of getting volunteers. But give us a
So,
call.
well, once we're out of COVID, we'll have to have you come back and we'll talk about what you need now that everybody can get together.
Yeah.
You know?
The problem is with this moment, it's just very difficult
Yeah.
to get people down there. But thanks everybody who's helped us. Special thanks to the Miami Foundation, the Paris Family Foundation,
Oh,
because they
yeah.
helped us out this
They're
year.
great.
Yes,
They're great. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. So, well, I am so happy that you joined me today and to let people know about the wonderful things you're doing for those people in the agricultural industry and the families and the children, and keep up the good work.
Thank you for having us, Gloria.
Oh, you're welcome, and thank you, Gisella.
Thank you for having.
Give you a little plug, Complete Insurance Agency and Profit Inc. Thanks again to Braham Medical Institute, a Quigley Eye Specialist Company, and to South Florida PBS for sponsoring our show. And we will see you next week.